I am, in a professional context, I'm the Managing Director of Pandora Internet Radio here in Australia. I started at Microsoft in 1989. I was there for 16 years. In that time, I had all the jobs. You know, when you're with an organisation, I think there were about 20 people when I started and more than 600 when I left. And during that time, I got to have a go at everything. And you know, when I left there, I left as the Director of the consumer business. And so in that time, you know, the things that I learned along the way were phenomenal. I learned from the best of the best all over the world, the leadership skills that I leverage today. I've had a selection of light bulb moments. I think really, if I were going to characterise all of them together, most of the things that I've learnt that have been the aha moments for me have come through mentors and coaches. And so the thing that I think I've learnt the most is to never stop learning and be aware that you can learn from anybody around you. But I've been fortunate enough to have a number of people in my career tap me on the shoulder and say to me, you've got a lot of potential, but if you keep doing that, you're going to go nowhere. The lesson around how to not take things personally was a lesson hard learned, but without doubt, that was the thing that helped me to turn my career around. It's a mindset change. When you walk into a building, if it doesn't have your name on the top of it, that's the day that it's not personal. I always had this bizarre self-belief in me and my abilities. And I'm not saying that that hasn't come without its challenges or its times of misery or self-doubt. But inside of me has always been somebody that's believed that I could do what I set out to do. And I never set out trying to change the world or break glass ceilings or whatever it was. But I have not had fear holding me back. Everything that I learned on the fly, you know, by the seat of your pants. Make a promise, you stay up 24 hours getting the job done. And I think, you know, when I reflect on where I learned that from, it was from the values of our parents. You know, many, many years earlier, do what you say you're going to do, finish things that you start, you know, all of those values that get taught very, very early on in your childhood. My education really came from that and just bloody working hard. I did not go down a formal education path, which I think sets me apart from a lot of people in this position. I did go back and get it later on once I'd figured out how to learn, but the rest of it was by the seat of my pants. You know, there's not a lot that I would do differently, quite honestly, because a career is the sum of the parts. I'm in the best job of my career right now. And I think that without all of the experiences that I've had, albeit some very, very difficult ones, I wouldn't be in this great role that I am now. And so actually there's not a lot that I would do differently from what I've done.